The US government expects you to believe that their 2.5% GDP growth is a sign of health in the US economy. However, this report that I will link in my link tree, which is well worth a read, shows how dire the situation actually is. In this video, I will show what the gap is, the reason why they're doing what they are, and the reason why Bitcoin is about to explode in value. But before we get there, where is Bitcoin at this present moment? We've seen a hard rejection of the bull flag that we're looking at. It seems like this is going to go a bit further down. It's at a major area of confluence support. We have to see where this is going. There's some interesting developments happening in the Middle East. We'll see what that happens and how the markets react to that. But it's looking more and more like we need some sort of fiscal stimulus to be able to push through that elusive line. Now, this is our third attempt of trying to break this line. And there's only so much that the bulls can do to push through without that stimulus of money. This chart is interesting, and this document that I'm going to link in my link tree is well worth a read because it's quite an interesting understanding of where the US economy actually is and what is actually happening. This chart states the amount of net income, liabilities, and profit that is going through. Now, this is important because this document that was found from the statistics from the US government shows something that is quite amazing. In this document that it's in my link tree, there's a few key takeaways. This number here is what the Fed is stating is the necessary expenditure and liabilities that the government has to spend to gain growth, which is $73 trillion. High number, right? But what is interesting, what is extremely interesting, is this table. This is an internal report which shows that the actual amount that they need is $173 trillion. And what's even more incredible is that the only amount of money that the government can actually achieve through taxation, which is the type of income that they need to be able to spend to this, is 1.73 trillion. So the gap between the two is complete government expenditure. Now, this is where the number of the 2.5% GDP growth that the Fed is stating is a complete fabrication. That number is there because of their expenditure. And the only way that they can cover the cost of this is by either increasing wealth or increasing growth in the economy. Now, increasing growth in the economy is difficult because the more that they're spending, they're getting less growth from it. I mean, they're spending $173 trillion to get only 2.5% GDP growth. That is terrible. So the only way they can achieve this gain is through debasement and devaluation of the currency. And the only way that can happen is by showing growth in the economy. And it's a form of stealth tax, which is like, so the economy is growing, your income is growing. So from 100 to say 150, that little bit of increase is the increase in taxation they can get from you. But in actuality, the value of property and real life goods is going up. So you're actually losing wealth. Now, why do you think that billionaires, high net individuals, companies, institutions are now investing into Bitcoin? Because it's a store of wealth. There is no inflation to it. There is a set amount of time. So where we are right now is an interesting point. There's only two things that they can do. Either increase growth, which they can't anymore, or increase wealth. And the only way they can increase wealth is a rate cut, because this expenditure is unsustainable. Interest rates are high. They're spending ungodly amounts of money through borrowing, and those repayments are impossibly high. So there will be a point where they cannot afford to do this. That will cause a recession. So the only thing that they can do is a rate cut. A rate cut is the only thing they can do. That will increase wealth, that will increase taxation, and that will increase all hedges against the dollar, because people are understanding that the value of the dollar is hitting the ground, and the government wants that to happen, because the more it hits the ground, the more the value of the currency goes down. The more that they have to have a currency and income growth, the more that they can tax. And if they do a rate cut, capital values, hedge or risk assets, all aspects of that are going to increase in value, which will mean an increase in the taxation they can do. So Bitcoin growing up at this moment in this nature environment of the world is an inevitability. It's not if, it is when. And these graphs and these things show you why. Now, when have you last seen this type of conversation? When are these things being shown to you? I'm the only one that shows this to you. I'm Alvarez, a 7-figure crypto investor. Like, share, save these videos, and let's get this into a community. All right? Catch you guys later.